Console launches are pretty damn important. They're a make or break situation. If your console launch goes really well, you sell through all the units, you have a bevy of titles out there from the get-go for people to go and scoop up and enjoy from day one forward, you pretty much are guaranteed to have a nice install base and grow from there exponentially. Well, what happens when you're backed by a whole shit ton of people through something like Kickstarter, like the Ouya was, and you go and you don't deliver on various promises? And when I say various promises, I mean on a shit ton of those promises. When you tell certain backers who pledged X amount of money that they would get their system a couple months early, before everybody else, before retailers, and before other backers who didn't pledge as much money. What happens whenever people are supposed to get controllers and systems that are supposed to be customized, have their names and their usernames and shit like that embroidered on them, etched into them? What happens when they don't receive those whatsoever? What happens whenever you start sending out alpha builds of those specific consoles and not the final builds, so they're getting essentially an unfinished product? And in addition, what happens when people are ordering additional controllers for their Ouya and not getting them whatsoever? Oh, and this is all excluding the fact that there's still shit tons of people that are angry and waiting for their consoles, and there's been no response, no answer, the tracking number, nothing has popped up, there's no information, they're just not getting it. Keep in mind, these are the backers we're talking about. The people that funded the project that needed $950,000 that's as its goal, and got over 8 million. Yet the people that back this are not getting it. Why? I would think that I would ship out those units to the backers well before the fucking stores would. Best Buy could suck my fucking dick. GameStop could suck my fucking dick. Any retailer, they could seriously go and fucking blow me. Genuinely, I would want to make sure that the backers had everything perfect before anybody else did. See, there's a lot of things I'd rather do. I'd rather go and jump in a magic school bus with Miss Frizzle and fly up the fucking asshole of a fat man that is bathing and fucking fermenting in his own waste, than and basically find out, oh wow, I can look on the inside of this dude's body and find out that this dietary consumption is not exactly fit for anybody and could kill a fucking dinosaur. I'd much rather do that than piss off people that pledged over $8 million for a project. That's not exactly the best fucking course of action and the best way to go and get your system off the ground. The worst part about it is that there's people, not only that are really pissed off about it, but there's people that are saying, well, they don't have the right to go and be angry about it. Are you fucking mental? And half the motherfuckers that are saying that already have their systems and have been enjoying them. So, exactly what happens? You're not going to get refunded. So what happens with something like this? What course of action do you really take at a point in time with something like this? I take great issue with any kind of a company going and shitting on the little people, you know, the little people that essentially made the company into what the fuck it is. But with something like this, it was a crowd-funded project, and now all those promises, all those shitloads of promises, you didn't keep. All you had to simply do, all you had to do was go and delay it. That was all. If you could not keep up with the amount of people that were saying, oh, we want this, we want this, we want this, we want this. If you didn't have enough units, then you didn't have enough units, so maybe make a delay, or you should have had a fucking cutoff point. And then said there will be a second shipment from this point forward for all the backers from here on out. But you didn't do that. So now you have an angry mob who supported you no less. You don't want to turn support into nothing but jaded fucking angst. So, and I haven't seen something like this before because, frankly, crowdfunding is still a relatively new thing for the most part, but especially within the fucking, like, hardware world of console gaming in handheld gaming and shit like that. We haven't seen anything like this, and the irony behind it is that there's like news articles going and bragging about, oh man, the Ouya's selling out. Yeah, the whopping like couple units that they send out to each store. Yeah, it's fucking selling out. No shit, Sherlock. I would hope that it'd be selling out, because if not, that's just piss poor and fucking pathetic. But this is something that's been making news headlines. But the thing that's not making news headlines enough is the fact that these people are getting fucked out of their stuff. So, exactly, genuinely, what course of action can everybody take from this point forward? Do you stop supporting the system even though you already funded the project? I mean, you're just going to have to sit around, you basically sit on your fucking hands and wait. And I hate the idea of something like this. And the fact that support is not getting back to them, over $8 million, and you're telling me that you could not get your shit together. With $8 million, not only would I have my shit together, but if there was for any reason this many delays, and it's not like it's like 5 or 10 or 100 or 500, I mean, there's a shit ton of pissed off people. If you don't believe me, you can just go onto their Facebook page and go check out all the angry people. If you look up any of the current Ouya articles, you can go and see that there's a bunch of pissed off people there too. This just is something that's not being reported on enough for whatever fucking reason, which is kinda dick. Dick move on the internet? Who would have thought of something like that? And you won't see IGN going and talking about something like this, unfortunately. Because, well, you know, they're rubbing elbows and shit. But it's interesting to note that the consumer is getting fucked again by the big company. The big company that just became a big company. So crowdfunding. Biting them in the ass. So, all I can genuinely say is to the entire Ouya staff, get your shit together. Because this is unacceptable. In every single facet, this is unacceptable. This isn't something that you go and do and you don't even issue a response to all of these people. You know, and this isn't like, this is like, oh, breaking news or anything like that. Some of the people that have been waiting for a couple of months. A couple of months, and they still haven't received their units. They haven't received their console, they haven't received their additional controllers, they haven't received final builds, they haven't received the etched controllers and systems and things like that. They haven't received all of these things. How is this okay to do? You know, if this was like of the big three, if Nintendo or Microsoft or Sony did something like this, we'd be up in fucking arms. But I think this is just as big of a deal, just because it's a smaller company and it's small and it's affecting a smaller percentage of people because it's not as big, doesn't mean it's any less important. So, I want to go and say something about that, because frankly, it's fucked up. And especially whenever your system wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the support of the internet, pretty much. And secondly, for all those backers who trusted your guarantee. And now that your guarantee has fallen through the fucking cracks, what do you do to go and make them happy? You're sitting on a shit ton more money than you actually needed. So what are you going to do to appease them? Because you need to do something. You don't just sit idly back and act as if nothing is fucking happening, and don't hand me some shit of, well, I'm just as angry. Meanwhile, you're still sitting on that plateau of fucking cash that they gave you. So tell me, what the fuck is going to happen then? And if anybody is watching this right now, if you were one of the backers that was affected by it, please by all means share your story, share any fucking goddamn grievance that you have down below, or a video response, anything like that, please by all means. Because it should be out there. And if the people at Ouya, if they do decide that they're going to go forward and do something to rectify all these mistakes, which there's a lot of them, not just one, not just two, there's quite a few. You don't fuck up in this many ways across the board. I understand that a console release can be a very stressful thing, and there's a lot riding on the line, but you do not fuck up in this many different departments. You do not. You do not get that kind of a fucking thing of cash flow from the get-go and fuck up this way. It's just unheard of and unthinkable. And to anybody that's saying, well, I don't see the big deal, go fuck yourself, asshole. Go fuck yourself anywhere else. Just get the fuck out of here. Because the fact that you can even utter a sentence and not be able to sympathize with anybody like that is fucking ridiculous. I myself don't have a Ouya. I didn't fucking pre-order the system, yet here I am fucking annoyed hearing about it because I can put myself into the person's shoes and understand that would suck really fucking bad. If I pre-order something and it doesn't fucking show up, I'm kind of annoyed to begin with. But if it shows up and it's like an alpha version of it, yeah, I'm pretty fucking pissed. Wait, the extra controllers I wanted aren't there? The fucking, I was supposed to get this early and I did not? Come the fuck on. Anyway, any opinions, any thoughts, anything whatso-fucking-ever, please comment down below in the comment box, shit like that. I know I haven't talked a lot about the Ouya. I mainly talked about the Ouya on the Hate It podcast with the Saint of Magnus, Razor Fist, and, you know, Chaos and stuff like that. So this is technically my first video I'm really talking about. Unfortunately, not only is it bad news, but it's a lot of random bad news. So hopefully something good can come out of all of this, maybe. If they're smart, which I'm assuming that they should be because they listen to fans quite a bit, well, now you should really be listening because, well, these are the people that backed you. So, might want to hook them up or some shit. Anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.